Because last time. Oh, Akbar, I
Mm-hmm.
can't start my video because the host has stopped it.
Okay, wait. Now you
Stacy,
can.
you would be sharing the screen, right? Um,
Yes.
yeah,
Last
perfect.
time.
No worries. Yeah.
Oh, Akbar,
Mm-hmm.
I can't start my video because the host has stopped it.
Yeah, now you can try.
I just heard myself.
Twice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Can you all see me? And is my background all right?
Yeah, we can see it.
I'm just going to keep the presentation ready. Okay. Akbar, do we have any people who've joined us?
Right now, I didn't start, so I'm going to start right now and then mute
Okay.
myself. And you know the drill that you need to wait for a decent amount of attendees. So I will let you know when we are going to start. When we good to go. So until unless you just announce that you know the drill, right?
Yeah.
So
Okay.
do we turn off the camera until then?
No, make
He
it like
announces.
this, and that
Okay.
like you guys can speak with each other regarding Loyalist, regarding our Study in Canada program, and then when we say like in 10 to 15 minutes, I will let her know. Then she will start.
Okay.
Okay. Best of luck. Bye bye.
Thanks a lot, Akbar.
Thanks.
Appreciate it. Thanks.
I think we'll still start at 9 because no one
Yeah,
has
sure.
joined us yet.
On the dot, right? Yeah, that's perfect.
Yeah.
So how's
But
it been for you? I hope you're okay. You keep doing this quite often, so it should be like ducks to water for you, I presume.
yeah, it's the same thing, actually.
Yeah,
I actually have written a script, so I just go through it because there's a lot of information that I
sure. I
can't
know it's
really
not
memorize or
easy.
speak about,
Yeah,
and they
sure.
want that to be included in the webinar. So I just,
Sure. Absolutely. No
yeah.
worries. Yeah. I think that it gives it a very fluid, sort of setting as well when you have something in writing that you could basically go through like a script or something. So that's fine.
Yeah. How about you? How was your day? Did you get the presentation on time?
Yeah, I did. I just went through it. It's a little, of course, different from what I actually have, but it's okay. I think I can wing the bits that I'm not sure about. I can fit something in. So hopefully that goes pretty well there. And yeah, we normally have a lot of emails from students and sort of agents that come up through really.
Mhm.
So I work on them, and then we have of course, like this, we have webinars that I do for India, South Asia, and Southeast Asia. So we're trying to, of course, have a little bit of push in terms of the numbers for May and September intake as well. Do you all think you'll have some students coming up for May intake who are interested? We have about 3 programs for May, which
Okay.
are 2 PG programs. One would be project management, the other would be supply chain and global logistics management. And then we have one of the diploma programs, which is in computers. But do you all have
Okay.
any students who would be interested
I'll
in the
have to
same?
check because I thought it's too late right now to get into the May intake.
We can push it up until March, like the first week of March.
Okay.
And then anything beyond that, I don't think so would fit in. But
Okay.
as I said, until Feb end or beginning of March, we could try and squeeze in for May if it's possible. Of course, there's no onus on you guys to do so, but
Mhm.
yeah, would be welcoming any which way.
So are you all going to have students come into the campus anytime soon?
No. Currently, the winter intake, of course, and the spring intake, which is May, we're going to be delivering it, through remote delivery, which is all online.
Okay.
Keeping our fingers and toes crossed, if everything goes according to plan, hopefully, September works out fine, and students can be in person, because that's what makes the difference, right? I mean, you basically would want to travel abroad, experience
Of
everything,
campus,
and
yes.
that's what matters when you're paying so much amount of money, right? So
That's true.
that's what students want too.
I think we do have some people who have joined us.
Okay.
So for those of you all who have just joined us, I would like to let you all know that we'll be starting our webinar very shortly. We're just waiting for more students to join the call and we shall get started. So I think we are live on YouTube as well
Okay.
right
Perfect.
now. Usually in the chat box, I think we do get questions.
Some questions coming through. Yeah. Feel free,
Yes.
not to worry.
So whenever that comes through. And then through YouTube also we'll be getting some questions.
Oh yeah.
So do you have conversations with students if they do get in touch with you regarding their careers and what course would be right for them?
Yeah, I mean, I certainly do that. I normally share my email address and contact details, of course, at the end of the webinar during, the in the chat box for them to basically get in touch with me. And of course,
Okay.
I give them sort of information, what sort of course they would be best suited for that they can choose. Because one of the key criteria is there has to be a correlation from what the students studied to what they intend to study. That's quite
Mhm.
imperative as well, not just from the college's perspective, but also from the visa perspective as well. So,
Mhm.
I normally stress that fact, and we have it as one of our key core criterias as well as part of a judging an application, if it's viable or not. So,
Okay. Okay, that's good. Because I actually, when I joined college, I didn't get an opportunity like that. We didn't even know who to contact regarding
okay,
this.
okay,
We didn't have anyone to speak to. It was just from our country. There were people who we could talk to,
okay.
and they guided us on what to do.
Right. I think especially when it comes to us, we try and do, be like a conduit to help them out, so that they have better information, better insight into what they're choosing and where they're heading, especially when it comes to loyalists. So,
That's really nice. I think we should mention this during the webinar as well.
sure, yeah.
To all those who have just joined us, we haven't started our webinar yet, but we shall be starting shortly. Today's webinar is about study permits and, of course, about Loyalist College. Please stay till the end of the webinar and we will be able to answer your questions. Today's webinar is going to be hosted by Alistair Royan and me. My name is Stacey. If you do have questions, please wait towards the end of the webinar and we shall be happy to answer them.
Do we have any questions that's popping up before the seminar or not yet?
Oh, no, not yet.
Not yet. Okay.
Not yet.
I
Even Bert hasn't sent me any yet.
Yeah, I think it would pop up post or during the session itself. So we'll save all the questions, hopefully post the session. So I
Yes.
think firstly, let them be informed as to what the institution programs are all about. And then I'm sure they'll have tons of questions if they have any to go ahead and ask. I'll be happy to go ahead and answer them, not to worry.
Okay, perfect. Sounds good. And we're just going to wait for a few more minutes before we
Sure.
can begin. Okay, I got word that we are live on Facebook as well.
Okay,
We're
perfect.
live on Facebook, YouTube, and we're still going to wait for a couple of minutes to
Sure.
begin. To all those who have just joined us through Facebook, I would like to let you all know that today's webinar is about studying in Canada, about study permits, and especially about Loyalist College. Please wait till the end of the webinar, and Alistair Royan and I will be answering your questions. Thank you for joining us. So, Alistair, when it comes to classes at the moment, because of COVID, there are virtual classes. If students are in another country, how do they manage with the time? Do they attend classes EST time, or do they do it at their own pace?
There's the specific time period that we have according to each programs, according to the program coordinator. So, for instance, when a student basically enrolls into a program, we send them a specific kit with all the respective details, which is shared by the program coordinator as well, including his or her contact information, where they will share as to each day what time would the classes be. That is not, that's sort of convenient for all. I mean, we can't look at each and every destination and sort of
Because
suit it accordingly, tailor it accordingly. So we have to have a confined, sort of a generic time period that everyone can sort of make their own little sacrifices and attend these virtual sessions. So that's what we got to do. We got to go ahead and provide them the pedestal, because the services and the medium that we use virtually is state of the art as well. That's one of the best part of being a government funded institution. You have these opportunities to make use of the best bit of technology and offer it to the students, because of the fact that it's all done via at their doorstep, so they
mhm,
get world class education right at their doorstep, without any hindrances, and the same quality as well. And because of the fact that Loyalist has been sort of an experienced institution, where we also have a lot of distance learning courses that we offer. So this is
okay,
not something that is new to us, so we're a novice to. We've been doing it in the past. So rendering sort of remote delivery programs or distance education is always been pretty easy for us, because we've had and faced that mantle before, and we're delivering the same way right now.
that's right. As you said, that everyone has to make their little sacrifices because
Yeah,
you attend a university or a college to have an interactive experience. So if everyone does it
true.
just at their own pace, they wouldn't be
Yeah,
meeting their professors or other students, so which is very rightly
exactly.
said. So that is
Exactly.
good that there is a time given to everybody.
Yeah. It's a good question, by the way. So, I mean, I think not many have asked me the same, but it's good that students are informed in this respect as well, so that the better informed that they are, the more clarity and coherence they have. So, thanks for that question. Appreciate it.
No problem. I think I'm just going to ask you once again during the webinar if I do
Sure, yeah, no
remember,
worries. Yeah,
so that our students are informed about this. That
sure.
being said, let us jump into the presentation. Thank you everyone for joining us. We shall be beginning the webinar right away. Just going to share. Okay, is my screen up? The
Yeah,
presentation up?
yes, it is. Yeah.
Hello everyone, thank you so much for joining us today. My name is Stacy and I'm a case associate at North Vista Immigration Consultants. Today, I am joined by Alistair Rowan, who is an international recruitment officer at Loyalist College. Alistair, would you like to say hi to our viewers?
Yeah, thank you so much, Stacey, for the warm introduction. And thank you so much, North Vista Immigration, for giving us this pedestal. And I would like to thank each one of you for joining me here today and hearing about Loyalist and all the information that we could provide, starting from who we are, where we're located, and what sort of programs that we offer and cater to. Hopefully, North Vista and Loyalist could be this conduit for you guys to have a wonderful career in terms of the academic front as well as on the professional front thereafter as well. So thank you so much, Stacey, for that introduction. Appreciate
No,
it.
the pleasure is all ours, Alistair. Thank you so much for joining us. We are really ecstatic that you could join us today. And
Thank you.
to all our viewers, I hope today's webinar addresses all your queries, not only about study permits, but about Loyalist College and how to come to Canada. So let's get started. Let's start by getting to know Canada and why students choose this country. Canada is the second largest country in the world by land mass. It has a total of 9.9 million square kilometers and is composed of 10 provinces and 3 territories, with Ottawa being the capital city of Canada. It is the first country to adopt a multicultural policy which embraces diversity. Canada is home to people from over 250 ethnic origins. The largest groups among these visible minorities come from Asia, Africa, and Europe. Lastly, the largest source of immigrants is the Philippines, India, followed by China. Canada, as all of us know, has the best educational systems in the world. It is recognized worldwide for its outstanding quality of education. From elementary school to post-secondary studies, Canada has 11 of the top 250 universities in the world. University of Toronto, as most of you all have heard about, is ranked number 1 in Canada and 23rd in the world. University of British Columbia is ranked number 2 in Canada and 38th worldwide, while McGill University is ranked number 3rd in Canada and 78th worldwide. Canada has been consistently ranked as one of the safest nations in the globe. As international students, you'll enjoy the same rights as any other Canadian. Before we get started, let me introduce you to North Vista Immigration Consultants. Our company is situated in Mississauga, Ontario, and is a leading immigration consultancy firm. North Vista Immigration helps people from all over the world and provides honest and sincere advice to all their clients. As you can see, we have strong Google reviews as our consultants practice in a professional and ethical conduct. Allow me to introduce our two main senior consultants, Mr. Alex Romano and Mr. Nabil Khan, both of whom have over 30 years of combined experience with a vast variety of cases in various Canadian immigration streams. Mr. Alex Romano is the president and co-founder of North Vista Immigration Consultants. He holds the designation of Regulated Canadian Immigration Consultant and is a chartered professional accountant. He's a member in good standing and was granted a license to practice immigration law under the Immigration Consultants of Canada Regulatory Council. Moving on to Mr. Nabil Khan, he is the co-founder and vice president of North Vista Immigration. He is also an immigration research specialist on matters pertaining to Canadian immigration law and regulation. He's a consultant graduate of CSIC E-Academy. He brings to North Vista integration of East Asian values in a Canadian setting. He too is a member in good standing and was granted a license to practice immigration law under the Immigration Consultants of Canada Regulatory Council. Now that you've gotten to know our organization, let's take a look at the average number of study permits that were issued in the last few years. As you can see from this chart, there were over 400,000 study permits that were issued in 2019, which is an increase of 50,000 study permits that were issued in 2018. This year, as the government has said, there will be over 450,000 study permits that will be issued, and one of those study permits could be yours. Alistair, since I have already introduced North Vista and I've told students about Canada, would you like to take this opportunity to introduce Loyalist College and perhaps speak about the programs at Loyalist?
Certainly, Stacey. Thank you so much for that wonderful introduction again. I would also like to echo before I could begin speaking about Belleville in terms of Canada as to why Canada as a destination. Because if you look at Canada as a country, it's a huge country demographically speaking. But in terms of its population, it's only about 45 to 50 million people, which is a small
That's true.
population. But if you look at the median age of the population as well, it's about 45 to 50 years old. It's an aging population. So there is a
Mhm.
need for young labor force to be a part of the job force or the workforce of the country and contribute to the GDP or the economy as such. So that's one of the reasons why I feel that Canada has been extremely supportive in terms of encouraging international students to be a part of the programs that's offered at all the institutions in Canada as well. And also, be able to, make use of the PGWP option as well, which is a,
Very true.
brilliant advantage that Canada is offering, to the international students. So that's something that I wanted to add on and echo to what you've mentioned, which you've covered almost everything really and wonderfully as too. So in terms of Loyalist College, uh, we're located in this city called Belleville. So Belleville is a very Canadian culture environment sort of city, and it's wedged between two sort of international trade destinations, as you guys can see, which is Toronto as well as Ottawa. So we're right in between these two international trade destinations. And if you look at Belleville in terms of the cost of living or the affordability of living in Belleville in comparisons to these two international trade destinations, Belleville is very affordable, it's inexpensive. Even in terms of your cost of living or rental accommodation, etc. So that's a pretty good aspect as well that students can benefit from. Speaking about Loyalist College located in Belleville, Loyalist College is located in a beautifully 200-acre wooded campus which lies within very close proximity to sort of shopping centers, housing, dining, entertainments of all kind, as you guys can see on the screen as well. As to how vibrant and quirky Belleville and the surrounding areas are basically. This is very convenient for students as well, so that you could sort of imbibe and sort of immerse yourself into what Belleville has to offer. And as I did mention earlier, Stacey, and to all students as well, that Belleville as a community is a very Canadian culture environment, which is great for students to sort of acclimatize with the culture in an effective manner. And Canada, as I did mention, is a very egalitarian driven society as well and a country. So everyone does have equal opportunities granted, to each one. And as I did say, in terms of the city as well, it's a very safe and secure environment, especially for students who are coming in from their home country and trying to move into a different country. It's a very safe and a welcoming environment, which is what I wanted to stress on as well.
I would
Um,
like to actually
sure,
put a pin on affordability. That's a very common question that we get from students because not everyone wants to pay a lot in terms of rent and
sure,
groceries. So it's really nice that you've already mentioned that it's very affordable and compared to especially places like I would say Toronto and Mississauga, where a lot of students run towards without having any knowledge that those places are extremely expensive when it comes to rent, groceries, and standard of living. So thank you for pointing that out as well.
sure. Thanks, Stacey. Yeah. Yeah, I'd also like to, move further in terms of, Loyalist College. What do we cater to our students who come across, at the institution? For instance, just running a couple of pointers, as you guys can see on your screen. When it comes to student success, so we at Loyalist College, we have student success mentors because we understand, the importance that there could be some sort of a lag or some sort of difference in learning that you would have encountered at your home country, and now you're traveling into Canada. You need some sort of support system in place, so we ensure that academically we provide student success mentors who could sort of help you out in sort of whatever impediments or difficulties that you may face and that you can overcome. So we provide that support system in place for our students as well. And of course, likewise, as you can see next, peer tutoring and academic skills. So if you need that, your academic skills need to be honed or it need to be mastered or developed, we provide peer tutoring and academic skill set support system in place as well. Now, tracking also forward in terms of counseling, mind, and wellness, how important and imperative this aspect is. As I did mention earlier, when students travel from one destination to another, they could face aspects such as, let's say, feeling homesick or differences in culture
Very
shock
true.
experience as well. So I think it is imperative or important that students have a platform where they could get the necessary counseling that they need, the necessary mind and wellness. Because if you have a sort of a barricade in your mind, moving forward to learn something academically or whatever the teachers and faculty head are teaching you, it could be an issue. So we ensure that we go ahead and sort of break down those barricades, break down those impediments by providing you those counseling or mind and wellness support system as well, which I feel is very, very key, especially to international students as well. Sometimes it applies even to domestic students as well, Stacey, when they move from one province to another because of the size of Canada and
That's true.
its
That's true.
enormity. I think it plays an imperative role, and that we provide that at a very, very close notion, looking that it is important for students as well. Moving further, we also have accessibility services, and we have something called as Academic Center for Testing to throw a little bit of more light in terms of this. If students want to develop their skill set and test their academic skills, either through paper-based tests that they want to take up or internet-based tests, we have those platforms available. They could go ahead and test it. Either it could be program specific or in general as well. We have those platforms that we ensure that students can make use of. We also have various community employment services, which could be voluntary basis as well, that students have this a strong notion to be a part of the community, help out in various aspects associated to the community as well. So this benefits you as a student because you understand the culture and you also understand various aspects as to how to perform your role post being a student. So that would be a conduit for you or a bridge for you to basically fit into the society, and hopefully opens doors in terms of employment opportunities as well. um, Also, we provide a lot of study assistance programs, study tips and resources as well, which are very key factors in terms of that student development process that a particular student goes through. So that's something that I wanted to throw some light on about the student success services offered at Loyalist. Over
I
to
think
you,
that
Stacey. Yeah.
community employment services is something that I would like to stress on. A lot of students don't know how important that is. They don't know the importance of networking. Here in
Sure. Yeah.
Canada, I think it's very, very important to network in order for you to go on to get another job, or even when it comes to your first job. I think when you go through these community employment services, you meet new people, whether the job is voluntarily based or it's paid, that doesn't matter. I think when you meet more people and you speak to them, if they find a connection with you, they could recommend you for a job. So in a way, that's always going to help students.
Yeah, you got a great point there. Adding on to what you said in terms of that as well, even when it comes to part time opportunities or full time, when you network with people, there are a lot of doors that get opened, which, provides you this opportunity. As I said, whether it could be part time or full time. So that's a great, point that you've highlighted yourself as well. So thank you so much for the same.
No problem. And I
Yeah,
think,
moving further, in terms of Loyalist College, all I just wanted to, again add on was in terms of the college is a government-funded institution. We were established in the year 1967. We are an approved DLI institution. As I said, we're government-funded, especially during the COVID time, which was a very unforeseen circumstance for all throughout the globe, really. And I hope each and everyone who's part of this as well and beyond are recovering and have recovered from it in terms of whether it's physically speaking or mentally, that's affecting us all. We had a plan in place, and we've got that plan approved as well. We had an approved COVID-19 readiness plan to basically, break down these barriers of, the COVID-19 effect and help out students, especially by delivering services through remote delivery or blended, which the government of Canada approved as long as your institution have a COVID-19 readiness plan. We did. We were one of the first institutions, amongst others, who were approved in the first week when the lot came out. And we're very proud and happy that, we could overcome this effectively through the support of the Canadian government as well. So.
That's amazing. And students, this term DLI is going to be coming up more during the presentation. Just for your information, DLI means Designated Learning Institution. Thank you, Alistair.
Perfect.
Let's
Thanks,
move
Lisa.
on to the programs at Loyalist.
Yeah, now this is one of the keys as well. I'm sure a lot of students, are very much interested in postgraduate programs. Now, we at Loyalist College offer a lot of postgraduate programs for our students. We have postgraduate programs in cannabis applied science, and then we have postgraduate programs in care of vulnerable population. This is basically for students who are coming in from a background of BSc nursing, bachelor's in nursing, can basically, move into taking up this particular program. It's a postgraduate certificate program. It's a one-year PG program that we offer. The IELTS requirement, which I'll get to it in detail, would be higher for this particular program, which is about 7 overall with no bands less than 6.5, because it's health related and it involves a lot of communication, which is key, especially for this particular program as well. Not that it is not for the other programs. Then, of course, we have the Global Business Management, which is one of our 2-year PG program, along with cybersecurity, which is not reflecting on the, PPT, because of the fact that it's a new program which we've entered into the market. It's a 2-year PG program along with the Global Business Management. All the other programs, as you guys can see, are all 1-year PG options, which is in human resource management, project management, public relations, event management, which is a very niche program, a very different program, and yet it's got a lot of opportunities as well. So is the supply chain management and global logistics. Again, it's a very niche-based program, very program specific in terms of delivery as such, which is great for students to sort of be involved in that program, because it does have a lot of field placement or internship hours as well. Moving further, we have a lot of programs in terms of our undergraduate options as well. Speaking of which, we have a myriad of options under different streams of study. For instance, the bioscience stream, we have various programs, as I previously covered, cannabis applied science. We have biotechnology, for which we don't need a math requirement for the same. So if you don't have math, but you have physics, chemistry, bio, you wanted to take up the biotechnology program, you can certainly take it up with us as well. We have the environmental services option. For those interested in building sciences, we offer various programs in building sciences like architecture, carpentry, construction, renovation technician, and construction engineering as well, which is our high-paying, programs in terms of job opportunities ahead, post-completing the same. It's a very practical-based program. We have state-of-the-art lab equipment as well for all our programs at Loyalist College. As I said, our campus is about 200 acres, and we've got the works in there for our students to get a hands-on learning experience as well, which is absolutely brilliant, because it provides you that practical skill set that you need post completing your studies. You can certainly put it into practice because you already have the practical learning that we provide you with. It makes that movement into the work environment in a very lucid and very fluid manner, really. Moving further, we have various programs in community services like early childhood education, or social services worker program. For those interested in chemical engineering or civil or construction, like I did mention, we also do electrical and manufacturing engineering based programs as well. A host of programs in health and wellness, from culinary to fitness, health and promotion, sports and leisure. So there's a lot of plethora of options available for our students to sort of delve into and gain that sort of prominence in terms of learning that they should encounter. As I said, we aim at a very practical learning aspect, so that's great for students who already have like a theory based learning experience, really. Moving further, again, IT is one of the key core areas. We at Loyalist, we also have a satellite campus in Toronto, and in the satellite campus, which is a smaller campus as opposed to the Belleville campus, which is the main campus, we have certain IT programs like artificial intelligence. Cybersecurity is offered in both the campuses. We have, of course, the data sciences, cloud computing, computer software development, which is not mentioned here, and wireless networking as well. We also specialize at Loyalist College in media-based programs, Stacey, and for all those of you who are listening, not just in the Ontario province. Now, that's where Loyalist College is located, in the Ontario province, in a city called Belleville, for those of you who are joined. Now, we specialize in media-based programs throughout Canada, not just in the Ontario province.
Okay.
So we specialize in programs in advertising, creative design, film, and those who are interested in animation as well. These are, again, high-paying job opportunities, a lot of opportunities as well. And this goes beyond borders for those, let's say, who study in Canada, who want to basically travel abroad and look for opportunities abroad. All these programs that I'm speaking to you about hold good providence abroad as well. So that's one of the best aspect of it when you study with a government funded institution who've been in the market from 1967 onward. So that provides you that market value, that provides you that branding necessary, that you can go beyond borders as well and look for opportunities. As I said, we also have other options or other streams of study in public safety, like protection, security, and investigation, paralegal. We have community justice service programs. And for those interested in skilled trade, we cover from automotive sector to motive power and welding options as well. And of course, we have the survey engineering option as well. So I know that's a lot of information. I hope you guys can, figure that out. We have more details on our website. And of course, I would always request you guys, if you need to sort of get any more information, feel free to get in touch with me. But North Vista Immigration has that same information that we provide as well firsthand. They could be the first point of contact for you guys in case you'll have any detailed questions. Please feel free to reach out through to them. You could certainly also reach out through to me as well. So over to you now, Stacey.
I
Moving
do
on to the
hope
next
they were
slide.
taking notes because this information is very important for them to decide which course or which program they're going to take next.
Yeah,
This
I
is
hope it
actually
wasn't.
amazing.
Yeah, sorry. I hope it wasn't going over their head like Shoaib Akhtar's bouncers, and I hope
No,
it
no,
sort of
definitely
settles in.
not.
So there
I
you
think the
go.
slide is very important because, as you can see, the heading is very important. Okay, if you even think about
Yeah,
biosciences, students are sometimes stuck about thinking about what program is there available for them.
yeah,
But I think this is really good. Like it's down to the T. It tells you, okay, if you want to get into media studies, these are the programs you can get into. There's just
certainly.
not
Yeah,
one option for them, but there are more than three or four. So
yeah.
I really hope that y'all are taking notes. I'm going to stay on the slide for just few more seconds so that y'all can take a picture maybe, and accordingly y'all can decide which program is best suited for you.
And even in our website as well, Stacey, we have it mentioned in detail as to under each stream what sort of programs we offer. And when you'll click on the programs, there's something called, in one of the tabs, you have courses. When you click on that, each semester, what are the modules, what are the subjects covered? We also have a video snippet of the program coordinator who speaks about the program, who speaks about the imperative or important or significant aspects related to the program, even on the work front. So it's a good information that you guys, if you'll need to go and get information in detail, you can always look into website as well. So not to worry.
Thank you. That's very helpful. Now that students you'll know about the programs, I think it's very important to learn about the campus life and extracurricular activities. Let's move on to that aspect.
Perfect. Now, speaking of which, I'm sure a lot of students do have, questions pertaining to scholarships. Firstly, I'll cover in terms of aspect associated to athletic scholarships offered in at Loyalist College in Belleville. The athletic scholarships that we offer are confined to certain varsity sports, as you guys can see your screen. Let it be women's and men's cross country running, women's rugby sevens, men's rugby 15s. That is the number of people who can participate in a particular team, basically. Women's soccer, women's basketball, women's and men's volleyball as well. The scholarship amount associated to it is about 3,000 Canadian dollars that are available per year. In terms of the scholarship amount for our students. Now, those students who have basically sort of some sort of certification, who've represented the country, their home country at a national or a state or a district level, can apply for these scholarships. And the best part is, once they get an offer letter from us, they can apply from their home country itself. They don't have to travel to Canada, be in the college premises or the campus to apply for the athletic scholarship. So all they have to do is go onto the website that they can see, which is www.loyalistlancers.com. There is an application form that needs to be filled for this particular scholarship. Then you fill in the respective details, attach your respective certificates associated to what type of sports activities you were involved in, as I said, at a national, state, or a district level, and send it through to us. Once we receive it, our Dean of Athletics would sort of review your application. And if you're eligible and you qualify for the same, you can get up to 3,000 Canadian dollars as a scholarship amount awarded, which is a great aspect. Not many do, but we do. So there you go. Yeah.
But I'm sure a lot of questions that we are going to receive about this is, okay, there is a scholarship up to 3,000, but is there a fully funded scholarship?
We don't have a fully funded scholarship at the moment, but you never know. As and when time progresses, we could extend that to our students as well, because nothing can be written off. Because in terms of the quality of students that we get, especially with like yourself, North Vista Immigration, who've contributed effective students through to us as well. We could certainly go ahead and extend that in the near future, where we could provide sort of fully funded scholarships in place for our students as well. So not far from now, hopefully, yeah.
Okay. And I think we still have, we do have more activities in the
Yeah,
campus.
we do have in terms of the athletics aspect of it, as I did cover the varsity athletics in the previous slide. It's similar in the current slide as well. But in terms of the facilities, if you look down below, we have various facilities in the college campus as well. As I said, it's a massive campus spread across 200 acres. We have a gymnasium, we have a fitness center, we have soccer and cricket fields for the respective fanatics in each sort of stream of sport. We have tennis courts, volleyball courts, sports dome, sports pad as well, and it goes on and so forth. As I said, we try and extend it to as many students who are involved in sports to be able to accommodate them so that they can make use of, not just from an academic point of view, but also in terms of an athletic point of view, or a sportsman point of view, sportswoman point of view, that they can develop that particular recreation aspect ahead of them at Loyalist, really. So
Since today's webinar is about South Asia, I think a lot of, especially a lot of my friends from that region, love cricket. So I think for a campus to have a cricket field is gonna be on their checklist, because not a lot of campuses do have cricket fields. Like a lot of students have to go on a hockey field and play cricket. So this is a really
true.
good point as well.
Yeah, yeah. Thanks for sharing that insight as well, Stacey. So
Oh, and I see that we've come to residence.
perfect.
This is something
Speaking
that's
about,
going to be new as well, since
Okay,
a lot of students are not aware that there are residences on the
sure.
campus.
Perfect. I'll be happy to throw more light in terms of the residence facilities at Loyalist College. Now, Loyalist, we have on-campus accommodation that students can take up as well. Firstly, I'd like to speak about the same. We have apartment style, we have residence style complex available on campus. The cost associated to it, I'm going to give you guys an approximate cost, which is about 600 to 700 Canadian dollars a month. That would cost you to live on campus and make use of it as well. And also want to speak about the residence, commons building that we have there at Loyalist College. We have a residence commons building which is open 24 hours a day for our students living on campus, that they can get access to, where they have IT services involved. They also have, a virtual reality room for PlayStation, etc. That they, if
Amazing.
they want to go out and make use of it in their free time, they could, certainly go out and do so. And it's got 24-hour security as well. So as I said, any time of the night or day, if they wish to go out and let out some steam, make use of these facilities that are there and involved for students, they could certainly do so as well. This is for, of course, for our on-campus students who are willing to go out and live off campus. They could do so as well. We would also provide support in terms of connecting landlords and landladies and property
Amazing.
owners to visit us at the college campus, especially when new students arrive, so they can meet these potential students, get information on the where they could look for off campus accommodation, probably what sort of rates can be discussed with the landlords, etc. And also potential senior students who may have accommodations available, that they could
Mhm.
meet them, network with them, get information, not just in terms of accommodation, but also, let's say, in terms of part-time opportunities. Ask them, okay,
Very
if they're in
true.
their final year, get information. If they are moving on to get into a full-time role, when you network with them, they could probably say, "Hey, you can fill into my job, which I'm doing part-time, because I'm going to be moving full-time." So that's how, be very proactive is what I would suggest students as well. I'll get to proactiveness and some other key aspects in a bit, but I just wanted to share this bit as well for our students.
Alistair,
Speaking about,
sorry,
yeah,
before you
sure,
begin
fine.
about residence, you did mention about part-time. Students, this is for y'all. It's new information for many as well, that when you are studying as a student, you are allowed to work in campus or outside your campus, but and you are allowed to work part-time. It's not
Sure.
that when you are a student, you are not allowed to work at all, but the government does mandate certain hours a week where students can work. I
Perfect.
believe
Thanks.
it's 20 hours.
Yeah, 20 hours per
20 years.
week is what you can do during your college period. Yeah.
Perfect. Continue, Alistair. Thank you.
Perfect. No worries. Thanks for that again. And I also wanted to let you guys know that, in terms, as you guys can see on the slide, we organize for those students on campus at our residence various trips, barbecue nights. We have, basketball hoops, volleyball courts, open mic nights, which is really, really fun. Various house challenges as well. So it makes you a lot more, immersed with the environment at Loyalist College in Belleville, so you can be a stronger part of it. And as I said, be very proactive, because it's going to help you not just during your college period, especially post completing your work, I mean, your college. You would need that proactiveness to be involved on the work front, on the professional front as well. So it's key for you guys. As I said, I'll be talking a little more actively in terms of the forthcoming slides hereafter. So
Okay.
next slides, please, Stacey.
Yes.
Yeah, in terms of the on-campus services that we offer at Loyalist College, there are very important and key services that we offer. Firstly, I'd like to throw some light about international services. Now, for those students, international students who come in, they would need a strong footing or a guidance, especially when they arrive at an institution, at a new country for that matter. So the international service team, which comprises about 7 to 10 people, would assist you with various aspects related to, if you have any questions regarding where to avail what service, your bus pass needs to be availed, where do I go for it, your e-library access, difficulties in terms of any IT related issues that you have, you need important information, who you need to go to. They could provide you that support. Immigration questions, if you have any that you need support on, they could help you with the same as well. Um, we have a physical library at the college as well, which is a massive sort of resource for our students to dig into, especially in terms of their coursework. We have various campus recreation. Tracking back a little in terms of library, we also have e-library access, which is electronic library that students can access once they are a student at Loyalist College, to a sea of information, which primarily would be used for coursework. Also, I would also delve into student health and wellness, which I covered earlier.
Mm-hmm.
For those students who have joined in now, it's an important aspect where we provide that platform for our students, so that you get the necessary support in terms of student health and wellness, so that it doesn't become a barricade in terms of your learning. So we provide that support here. Now, another key important aspect that I want to highlight to our students listening here, Stacey, is that the career center. Now, what is the career center at Loyalist College? The career center is a one-stop job shop for our students. What they
Mm-hmm.
basically do is, if you have any questions pertaining to how you need to develop your CV in a Canadian way, have your cover letter amended, they could go ahead and help you with the same. If you have
Oh,
any questions regarding, where can I find part-time opportunities, whether on campus or off campus? On campus, just to give you guys a heads up, we have part-time opportunities where you can work 20 hours per week during your college period. You can work part-time in the college campus, either at the cafeteria, library. You can help the recruitment or marketing team, work part-time with them, program specific labs, IT labs, etc. You could get paid somewhere around 12 to 13 Canadian dollars per hour in terms of on-campus part-time opportunities. Further, in terms of off-campus, we could provide you information as to what sort of job sites you can register to get information either on part-time or full-time. Probably we could give you a heads up where you can avail these off-campus part-time opportunities, whether it being working at a restaurant, coffee shop, the Bay of Quinte mall, hotels, etc. So I would request students to be proactive, as I did mention earlier, because nothing's going to be coming on a platter to you guys. That's one of the key important aspects, because just like you guys, I was a student when I studied in the UK. It is important to be proactive, to be able to reach out to these opportunities. As I said, nobody is going to come knocking on the door and say,
that's
here's an
true.
opportunity for you in terms of part-time or full-time. So I would like to, get students motivated, especially in terms of being proactive. Reach out to the career center, speak to them in terms of, what sort of opportunities lie ahead. If you have detailed questions, you can fix up on an appointment basis and speak to them. They conduct mock interviews as well. If you're nearing to the
Perfect.
closure of your course, you're looking to go for interviews, they conduct mock interviews, so they could help you out there as well. The Career Center is also a catalyst in terms of organizing in-house or on-campus job fairs or recruitment fairs, where we invite various company heads, directors or employers, entrepreneurs in the college campus. We host these recruitment jobs and events. Either it could be program specific, or it could be in general to all programs. Students from
Okay.
all fields of study could come and meet these potential employers, company heads, directors. And if they're lucky enough, they could get those opportunities as well into those companies, either post or during their study period for 20 hours, of course, when you're doing your course. Also, I want to highlight through to you guys as well. Speaking of these opportunities, I also want to urge students, when I say proactive, as soon as you arrive at Loyalist College, I would request you students to speak to your lecturer, sort of either pertaining to your program. Ask them questions as to, what sort of companies are related to my field of study, because only when you ask questions, they would provide you those answers. So when you ask them these questions, they'd love to give you information, what sort of companies revolve in your field of study. Once you get those details, go onto those company website, look into the information as to, what basically this company deals about regarding your particular field, what sort of opportunities are in store, what sort of jobs they advertise prioritize, and what are the roles and responsibilities that they need in terms of these jobs. So when you have that information right from the very beginning, by the time you finish your course, you know what sort of companies you need to target, you know what sort of questions that you might encounter that they would ask you over the interview table, and you will be ready with the answers, because it's not just about you getting a 90% in your studies. It's also about you, developing your skill set, developing your language skills, which is very important as well. Because if you have tons of ideas, you can't communicate your ideas, they're not going to take you into those companies. So try to develop, speak out to all sort of students in your classroom, not just students coming in from your country or your part of the region. Speak to other Canadian students in your classroom, other international students, so you can build your experiential learning in the process, also your language skill set, also get to know about the Canadian culture, which is very important even when you go for your job interviews. So this is an information that or a heads up that I want to give you guys. It's always going to be helping you guys. If you guys have a plan A, B, C in place from the time you begin your course, by the time you finish your studies, I'm sure you'll know what to do. And trust me, you will have the opportunities that you're looking for when you have those plans in place. So that's something that I wanted to shed some light on regarding Career Center and in terms of proactiveness. Uh, Moving further, we also have various student IT labs, student government services that we offer. We have a Shark Tank pub at the college, not during your college period, that it's a fully licensed pub, but post the college hours, if you want to have some recreation, those of you who can play instruments like guitar, drums, etc., or you can rent out a song, you can basically go ahead and pull up a mic and sing there as well. The stage would be yours. So we try and encourage all sort of facets that a student possess and give them those platforms as well. We have a food court, as I said in the previous slide, sports dome, gymnasium, study spaces, etc. So it's really massive. It's open for all. We've got plenty of opportunities as well. So that's something that I wanted to highlight as well. Stacey, over to you now, please.
Which
Thanks.
is amazing. I actually really appreciate you taking time to go through each pointer and telling our viewers about what they can expect, say, at the library or the career center, which is going to be very important for them once they're done with college, and not only when they're done, but during college as well for part time opportunities. Thank you for that. I have a question actually. This is also a commonly asked question, not regarding the residents, but about online classes. Now, since due to COVID, a lot of the classes are going to be held online. How is the schedule created for students? Is it done at their own pace? Can they just attend classes whenever they want? Or is there a time slot given to students to attend lectures?
A great question. Thank you so much for bringing that forward, Stacey. Especially when it comes to the time slot, there is a particular time slot associated to which would be sort of administered by your program coordinator. So as soon as a student gets their offer letter, especially currently for a May intake and the one that has gone by, which was January winter intake, we did have programs that were delivered through remote delivery because of the current pandemic situation virtually. But as I also wanted to highlight in this particular phase, as in when I'm speaking through to you, that because of the fact that Loyalist used to offer and still does offer distance learning programs. So offering programs virtually was not something new to us. We were not novice to. We are very experienced in terms of distance learning courses as well. So suddenly when the pandemic hit, the entire globe, we were ready to offer programs virtually because we had the necessary technology, we had the necessary expertise and know-how, because we've done distance learning courses already. So we fit right in terms of delivering the remote delivery programs to all our students. Speaking of
Okay.
which, in terms of time, because of the fact that we have a diverse number of students from all around the globe, to sort of accommodate each one according to their own time would be very, very difficult. So we chose a common setting, which would be administered by the program coordinator of your specific program as to what time it would be in a particular week, at a time of the day, or at the time of a night, wherever you are. at a decent time, not that you would be a zombie waking up to something that you can't comprehend. Uh,
Yes.
but certainly these are the small sacrifice that you would do. But as I said, we would ensure that it would be detailed and provided prior to them having a rude shock as such. We would give you the respective details, a respective time frame, time slot that students can basically encounter, take up their courses online, so that they have a very smooth and fluid sort of learning in the process when it comes to remote delivery. For each of their programs, it would be communicated by their program coordinator, which is faculty head or lecturer, whatever you'd like to call it. They would certainly go ahead and help you with the same. From the time you receive your offer letter at Loyalist College, all the respective details would be given to you via a kit. And you would also have the personal contact details of your program coordinator, so that in case you have any sort of trouble getting access to information, we could provide you with the same. That's one of the reasons why I want to highlight that Loyalist College is a hands-on college. We provide you that personalized learning approach, individualized attention that you need, which is great for students, that I'd like to highlight to them.
Perfect, perfect. Thank you so much for that information. That is really important because I think at the end of the day, everyone is looking for an interactive opportunity. So
Oh, yeah.
if you have classes that are not hands-on and not interactive, you do not get to speak to your professor, you do not get to know who your classmates are. So this is a really good initiative taken by the college. Thank you so much for sharing, Alistair.
Thanks, Stacey. Yeah.
Now let's move on to some numbers. So these are stats that tell us about different countries in South Asia and how many study permits were approved. Of course, from this graph, you can see that in 2018 and 19, majority of the study permits that came in were from India, which were followed by Bangladesh, and Sri Lanka, as you can see, was not very far away. Moving on to the average annual tuition fee. This is something that is very important. A lot of students need to decide which country they're going to move to, and the tuition cost is very important for them to determine which country would be best suitable for them. So as you can see, compared to Australia, you would need to spend an extra $12,000 to study. This is compared to Canada. I'm sorry. So when we compare Australia to Canada, you would need an additional $12,000. You would have to spend almost an extra $14,000 more when you compare Canada to UK. And finally, you would need to spend an extra $23,000 when you compare studying in Canada to studying in the US. So as you all can see, students, from this graph, although a lot of you all feel that Canada is very expensive when it comes to studying in colleges or universities, when you compare it to other countries such as Australia, UK, and US, Canada is comparatively very cheap. And during the past few days, we have been receiving various inquiries regarding scholarships. This is something that Alistair also did speak about. So when it comes to scholarships, they are only offered to students who have exceptional grades at many times. Every university and college offers some sort of scholarship. However, most scholarships would only cover 20 to 30% of your tuition cost. Let me give you an example. If your tuition cost is $10,000, you would receive a scholarship up to $3,000. This is similar to the sports scholarship that Loyalist also offers.
True.
The eligibility criteria would, of course, vary from school to school. We would be able to assist you in getting a scholarship based on you meeting the eligibility criteria of the school. Now that we've spoken about Canada being comparatively low on the tuition cost compared to other countries, let's look at the tuition costs at Loyalist College.
Firstly, thank you so much, Stacey, for basically pitching in. You helped me catch my breath after
I know.
a couple of slides, so really appreciate that. Now, moving over through to the scholarships aspect of it, firstly, I'll sort of delve into the fee structure so you guys have an idea as to what is the fee structure associated to Loyalist. As you guys can see the screen, that the overall cost, the fee structure associated to Loyalist would be about 16,468 Canadian dollars. Now, dissecting this particular cost, the tuition cost associated to it would be 14,332. The ancillary fees involved, all this comes under the 16,468, which I did mention earlier, where the ancillary fees would be about 1,535, which basically would cover, your gymnasium usage. We don't charge you an additional extra for it. Making use of the IT services, the IT labs, or the various recreation aspects that we have, that's all covered under this particular aspect of it as well, which is the ancillary fees. Then moving
Mhm.
on, we have the health insurance for the first year would be a part, and it would be covered under the 16,468 as well. So those are certain really good amenities that we offer our students as part of the entire fee structure, which is 16,468. Moving on, to give you guys an approximate cost that you guys might sort of encounter, would be somewhere around, in terms of your housing, food, spending, other expenses, etc., would be somewhere around 10,000 to 12,000 Canadian dollars per year. So I'm giving you a minimum to a maximum, approximately. If it goes beyond, then it depends on how you guys set in terms of your lifestyle, etc. Moving further, you're looking at an overall cost of about 27 to 28,000 Canadian dollars per year that you would be, working out in terms of your finances at Loyalist College, approximately, really. Now, having said that, so speaking of which, in terms of your part-time opportunities, so part-time, you would do about 20 hours per week during your college period. During your holidays, you could do full-time for up to 40 hours. There you could earn per annum, students can make somewhere around 18 to 20,000 Canadian dollars per year. So if students are proactively involved, have that network in place, building that network, you get yourself a part-time job, and that's the amount of money that you can make. So that you'll have those expenses, certain amount of expenses that you can cover those bases for, because of the fact that you have those part-time opportunities. But then again, I just want to let you guys know, pay heed to being proactive. Try to be very networking as soon as you arrive at the college. And don't just sit back and wait for opportunities. Make use of the various platforms that Loyalists provide you with, uh, like the Career Center, like the International Service Team. Make the best use of it, guys, because only when you have those plans in place prior to you traveling as well, that's when you can make use of these opportunities, and basically add to fruition, really. So that's something that I wanted to share. Moving
Also,
further, in terms of the scholarships, yeah, you had something to say,
sorry,
Stacey. Go on.
Alistair, before we move to the scholarships, I'd like to speak about housing, food, that section where you did mention that you would require 10 to 12,000 per year.
Yeah.
So, along with paying for your tuition fees, students, I've connected with a lot of them, and we frequently speak about having up to $10,000 in your account. This is mandatory by the government of Canada. So, along with paying for your tuition fee, you are supposed to have this amount in a Canadian account for you to spend here. The government just wants to know that you have enough to take care of your housing, food, or whatever you would like to spend your money on. So, when we do tell you that tuition fee and this goes hand in hand, it is very important for you to understand that this is not fees that we are asking, but it is something that the government has asked in order for you to get a study visa. So it is one of the eligibility criteria that have to be checked off. Sorry, Alison, can
No, no,
continue.
perfect. That's such an integral point that you covered as well, which is very much necessary for a student to have the GIC, or Guaranteed Investment
Yes.
Certificate, for the amount of 10,000 Canadian dollars, as Stacey did mention, which basically, as Stacey did say, that it shows that you have enough of funds to take care of yourself in terms of your cost of living, your accommodation, and your living expenses primarily. So thank you so
Yes,
much, Stacey, for covering that
no
important
problem.
aspect. Moving further, in terms of our scholarships, awards, and bursaries, we have various scholarships, awards, and bursaries for those who are, sort of wondering what bursaries, it's basically something like a scholarship, an amount or a pot which is kept for students that can help you in terms of your tuition costs, until and unless, of course, you're eligible for the same. Now, we have various scholarships, awards, and bursaries, different categories. Now, for these, you have to be in the college campus to be able to, fill out an application, apply for it. If you're eligible and you qualify for it, you fall under different scholarships, awards, and bursaries based on which one you chose and you've applied for. Now, these are basically on meritorious grounds, are granted on meritorious grounds, or on a student's merit or their academic prevalence in terms of what they've done in terms of their studies, etc. So if a student has got 85%, someone's got a 90%, it would go to a higher, to a student who's got
Mhm.
the higher grades, basically. Now, as I did mention, in order to basically make an application for the same, to apply for it, to be eligible and qualify, you have to be in the college campus for the same. Unlike the athletic scholarships, like I did
Okay.
mention, for those of you who joined in, I just want to track back and speak about it. The athletic scholarships, you can qualify for it by filling out an application form, which is available on our college website as well. If you take part in certain varsity sports, you can qualify for up to 3,000 Canadian dollars. If you've got some sort of certification in your home country at a national, state, or a district level, which you can apply from your home country itself. So that's about it in terms of both these scholarships as well. Over through to you, Stacey, as well.
Yes, I think now we can speak about the eligibility and the English exam.
Perfect. We at Loyalist College, we have various English language, tests that we go ahead and accept. Firstly, it would be the Canadian Academic English Language Assessment, where you need to have an overall band of about 60, and then writing has to be 60. In terms of diploma programs, for the PG diploma, it has to be 70, and in writing, you need to get 60. Then we have the Cambridge English exam as well, where it's C1 advanced to C2 proficiency for diploma, and for PG diploma, or we have 4 programs which are diploma programs which require a higher English language testing credential. Those 4 diploma programs would be recreation and leisure services. Then we
Okay.
have the early childhood education. We have developmental services worker. We have the fitness, health, and promotion. Now, for these 4 diploma programs, we need the equivalent in terms of English language testing credential at a PG level, the same as the PG we would need for these 4 diploma programs as well. We also
Okay.
accept, yeah, sorry, you were about to ask me something, Stacey?
No, no, no. I was just trying to understand
Okay.
which programs.
And
Sorry.
in terms of the Duolingo English test, we also accept the Duolingo English testing credential. For diploma programs, it would be 95 to 100. For PG, it would be 105 to 110. The PTE, we have started accepting quite recently, along with the Duolingo. For diploma, it would be an overall 54. And for PG, it would be 60 and above. Moving to the next slide, in terms of the IELTS English language testing credential, we accept under the SDS category, which is a student direct stream. We accept a 6 overall with no bands less than 6. Under generic category, we at Loyalist, for our diploma programs, we accept 6 overall with 1 band at 5.5. For those students, don't be disheartened if you've got 1 band at 5.5. Loyalist does accept for our diploma programs a 6 overall with 1 band at 5.5. So, hey, great news for you guys, really. And for PG programs, we need a 6.5 overall with no bands less than 6. As I did mention earlier, for a care of vulnerable population program and for a personal support worker program, we would need a higher IELTS of 7 overall with no bands less than 6.5. So those are the 2 programs which we would need a higher IELTS than the PG programs as well, which is 7 overall with no bands less than 6.5. Under TOEFL, if you're doing paper-based, it would be 550. And if you're doing the internet-based, it would be 80 with minimums of 20. For PG programs, it would be 560 paper-based, and internet-based, it would be 84 with minimums of 21. So that would cover the aspects associated to the English language testing credential. Moving further, I also wanted to highlight, Stacey, in terms of how we would judge a prospective student applicant. We at
Mhm.
Loyalist College, so let's say you're coming in to take up one of our science related program. We look at a strong correlation from what you've studied to what you intend to study. You can't be a commerce student who's looking to basically study a science related or an engineering program. If you're coming in from a science stream, we would appreciate you getting into a science based program. If you're coming in from, let's say, an arts or a commerce stream, you can choose in that relevant aspect as to what the program would be. The second is we accept students with a percentage of 50 to 55% and above in
Okay.
terms of our diploma programs and even for our PG programs. But it doesn't mean that you get an overall of 50% and you're good to go with us. We would also look at certain of your core programs. So let's say you completed your A level or your 12th. In your 12th, you got 4 or 5 core programs like English, physics, chemistry, bio, or math. We want you to get in at least 4 of those 5 with 50% and above, so you can qualify with us as well. So, and
Mhm.
in terms of backlogs, we accept about 6 to 8 backlogs maximum, including reappears as well, especially
Mhm.
for those students who have done their diploma or their bachelor's. This is the backlog limit that we accept as well. So I just wanted to cover those aspects too.
Thank you so much, Alistair. I think this was very important because we get asked this a lot, that how much do I need to score in IELTS and different other English exams. So thank you very much. This is very important.
Thanks, Stacey. Yeah.
So now that you all have learned about Loyalist College, since you know that after you do get admission, you need to apply for your study visa as well. This is where our organization, North Vista Immigration, comes in. So let me just quickly run you through the benefits of our service. So as you know, once you get enrolled and start attending a post-secondary institution, you will be eligible to apply for a postgraduate work permit, or as we have commonly spoken about it as a PGWP. The school must be DLI, like we mentioned earlier, it's a designated learning institution. It has to be DLI approved, and the program that you are studying must be eligible for a postgraduate work permit. For example, if you completed a program of 2 years or longer, you will receive a 3 year PGWP. Whereas if you have done a program of 1 year, you will only receive a 1 year postgraduate work permit. So it's very important for you to decide which one is more important for you and apply to those programs. This would be very important as a postgraduate work permit allows you to legally work in Canada. Part of the services that we offer here at North Vista Immigration is that we help our clients also find a job in their respectable field. Finding a job is very important as this would further help you get your PR, which is your permanent residence. The consultant would also provide you with information that you may not know, or even if you have questions that haven't already been answered, we are always there to help you. It is very important that you consult our experienced consultants to develop a strategic pathway if you wish to apply for PR in Canada. A commonly asked question is about refusals and rejections. Of course, you may do everything on your part and still get a refusal letter. Let's see what to do if that does happen. So, of course, we do help you reapply, but in order to do that, we would need to see all your paperwork that you've submitted and the reason that is stated in your refusal letter. Always, when you receive a rejection or refusal, there are various reasons given to you down on the refusal letter. We help you overcome that by working on that reason that was given to you and help you to reapply once again for a study visa. We have videos on YouTube as well, where we have students talking about how we help them in a very quick span of time to get their study visa. So, in case you do get a refusal, please do not get dejected as we can help you. Lastly, you can also connect with us through Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. You can also send your queries directly to me on this WhatsApp number, or you can send me an email on this email address provided. I'm just going to keep this up on screen and y'all can take a picture or note it down. In the meantime, let's see what questions we have. Are you ready, Alistair?
Sure, fire away, please.
Okay, let's see. Okay, our first question is how to apply for a bachelor's. Is it different than applying for a postgraduate diploma?
In terms of a Canadian college, that's what we are. We're Loyalist College. We don't have bachelor's degree, but we do have PG diploma options or PG certificate options that students can apply. Now, to apply for a PG program, you need to be a bachelor's degree holder first and foremost to apply for a PG program. But if you're looking to go for a bachelor's or you're looking to go for a diploma program, we at Loyalist College offer diploma programs for a student who's completed his or her 12th or A level. They could take up a diploma program with us. Now, some of them would be confused as to what is the difference between, a degree or a diploma or a PG or
Yes.
a master's. Now, a diploma or a PG diploma is like a more practical outset of learning as opposed to a degree, which is a more master's degree or a normal degree. It's a more research-based learning. Having said that, they also have practicality involved. But if you look at a diploma and a PG diploma, it's very much involved in terms of the practical outset that you would encounter in terms of your coursework that is taught to you. So that's the difference between the two. And we, as I did mention, we offer diploma and PG diploma programs, really.
Okay, thank you. And someone had asked what are our consultation fees. Just to let you know that we charge $90 for our consultation with our senior most consultants. You may speak to Alex Romano or Nabil Khan. That being said, if we do take you as a client, the $90 is adjusted in your main fees. So, for example, if your study visa comes up to, say, $1,000, we subtract 90 from that, and that is only what you have to pay in the end. Okay, so a question is, I'm looking forward to travel to Canada as a student. I'm from Sri Lanka. Please advise. So of course, I think like Alistair said earlier, it would depend on what you have previously studied. And when you apply to a program, they would see the correlation between what you've previously studied and what you're looking forward to study. So if you do need help, as we had shown earlier, and it's also available on the Loyalist website, you can go through a list of programs. Say if you had done media studies, you can go and see the different courses that are there for media studies. If you do need help later, you can always send me a message on the WhatsApp number that was provided, and we can always help you find the program that you desire. Okay, another question is about scholarships, Alistair. What is the process of scholarships? A student has asked us.
Yeah, I'll sort of give them a refresher, reiterate what I did mention. If you're looking at academic scholarships, basically we have various awards, scholarships, and bursaries. Uh, you'll have to be in person at the college, in the college campus, to be basically apply for these various scholarships. More details of which are available on our college website. Just key in on the in the search bar, scholarships, and you will get the list of details and information regarding the same. But just to throw more light, it's purely based on merit or based on meritorious grounds on your academics scores that you've received. And then we'll see whether you qualify for the same. When you qualify, there are different amounts under each scholarship that you can qualify for. On the contrary, we have the athletic scholarships, which you can apply from your home country. You don't have to be in person in Canada to apply for the same. As long as the sport that you're involved with in your home country falls under the same varsity sports that these scholarships are offered for. The scholarship amount that we offer under athletic scholarship is about 3,000 Canadian dollars. Yeah.
Okay. So another question is, does Loyalist College have master's programs?
Again, because Loyalist College is a college, it's not a university. Only Canadian universities offer master's degree or a bachelor's degree. But we offer, diplomas and PG diplomas. As I did mention, it's a very practical outset of learning, which is great for students to get a hands-on experience. Most of our programs have field placement or internship hours where they put you on the job, so you get a hands-on experience as well. You don't get paid for it, but it would be validated as an experience. You will be put on a live work environment. Every program, most of our programs have certain internship hours. It varies from one program to another. Every time a student comes with a particular question or query regarding their particular program of choice, I can give them the details as to what sort of, how many hours of internship you would encounter, whether it would be post your second or third semester or at the final semester of your study as such. So
That was actually going to be the next question about internships and co-op opportunities, whether all programs have it or it's just limited to few programs.
perfect. We
Yeah.
have field placement, which is like internship hours, but not like a co-op where you get paid for it, but you
Mhm.
don't get paid for it, but it would be validated as an experience because it comes in handy, especially when you complete your internship hours or field placement with Loyalist. Post that when you're going at a job interview and they ask you a question, what is one of the credibilities if you're a fresher? Why should I take you in? You can always say that I've had this internship experience, which is a live working environment, which I've done so and so. I could probably bring in those set of ideas to the table and be an employable asset to you guys. And hopefully, they take you in. So you never know. Yeah.
That is very true. Also, for students to do an internship or a co op, along with your study permit, you do get a work permit. This work permit is only limited to your co op and your part time position. After you complete your studies, you need to apply for a postgraduate work permit to legally work in Canada. The work permit that you receive with your study permit does not allow you to work full time after you complete your program. Okay, I think I have a few more questions coming in. Thank you for explaining about scholarships because we get a lot of questions regarding that.
Sure, no worries. Don't
So
don't, don't tell me there's another one coming up regarding scholarships.
there is
I'll
another
be
one
I'll
about
be happy to
scholarships.
answer them. I was just kidding.
There
No problem.
is
Thanks.
so the question is for my scholarship when I apply from Canada, from inside Canada, which is for the program, unlike an athletic scholarship, does the entire fee do they have to pay for the entire fee and then apply for scholarship or how does it go? Of course, I do know the answer to this, but I would like you to just give them a few details about how they can apply for a
Yeah,
scholarship.
I mean, if the question is pertaining to do we offer full scholarships, we don't offer full scholarships that covers your entire fee structure. But our scholarship amounts vary from one to another. It depends on what sort of scholarship you're applying for, pertaining to which program specifically, because it of course differs into whether you're falling under a trade skill program or building sciences or biosciences, because it's sort of dissected or scattered across these various fields of study as well. So I can't give you a specific answer, but as I said, the only answer that I could give you is that it doesn't cover a full scholarship amount, which is your entire fees. It could be probably the part of it as such.
So it is important. So students, before you all come to the country, you all need to pay 1 year's tuition fees
Yeah.
ahead of coming in, and after you arrive in Canada is when you can apply for a scholarship, right? And we have some students interested in cyber security. Would you be able to give us a little bit information about cyber security?
Yeah, I mean, certainly
And
I can.
is it a
This
1 year or 2 year program?
Yeah, the cybersecurity. Thanks for the question, Stacy, and whoever the person who did ask that. Cybersecurity is one of the newest programs which is offered at Loyalist Belleville, which is main campus. The cybersecurity is an IT-related program. It's a 2-year PG option as one of the two PG programs that we have. Of course, it's IT related. It covers in terms of aspects associated to, because nowadays everything that we do is virtually. So it's
That's true.
key that the virtual aspect of it, the online medium is secure as well, and it's a great opportunity in terms of jobs related to this particular stream of study, even more than before, because of the current virtual environment that we're living in, because of the pandemic situation. So there's a lot of opportunities available in this program. As part of this program as well, great that we covered the internship aspect of it earlier. The cybersecurity program, it's got 4 semesters. So the first year will have 2 semesters. Of course, the second would have another 2 semesters. During your fourth semester, you will have the internship, or field placement as part of your cybersecurity program. As I did mention earlier, you will be put in a live working environment, so you could provide based on whatever you've learned academically at Loyalist College as part of your program. You would be put in a live working environment with problem solving issues that they face, where you'll have to provide solutions for. So which is a great aspect, I feel, in terms of learning. As I said, it's very practical in nature, very hands-on learning, which is great in terms of what you could sort of immerse and imbibe, really.
That is a very good point. Also, I just wanted to highlight that while students do their co-op, the only advantage is not only the hands-on experience, but a lot of time employers do hire the student full-time. This
True, yeah,
happens very often,
true,
and that is an advantage for students. All
yeah,
right, Alice, I think we are done with our questions because some of them are just repetitive. I'm not going to go over them. But
sure,
as you know, most of them are about scholarships.
yeah,
So we've already covered that, which is great. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you for going into details about the programs, about scholarships, the fee structure, and especially about the location of Belleville. It's very important for our students to know
sure, yeah,
which region they would be going to college and the standard of living over there, which is better than most of the other cities in Ontario. So thank
yeah.
you for giving us so much time today and for having such good conversations. Thank you very
Thank you,
much.
Stacey. Thank you so much. I once again want to thank North Vista Immigration and yourself. You've been a great host and sharing all the details that I couldn't cover. You did cover yourself as well and providing deeper insight into the same. Thank you so much for giving us this platform, especially North Vista Immigration, to be able to speak about Loyalist to all those who are watching. So that's about it. I just like to sign off, giving you guys a word of thanks, and everyone who's joined in as well for joining us this late in South Asia.
Yes.
Have a lovely evening ahead as well. Yeah,
Thank you, viewers. Have a good day. Thank you, Alistair. See you
thank
soon.
you. Yeah,
Bye
cheers.
bye.
Bye. Bye.